I don't know another way to phrase that. It's just that simple. No consistent style has ever won. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Hard Foul Radio. Appreciate you for tuning in today. It is Wednesday, June 9th, and we're just going to get right into it, man. So I feel like essentially every sportscaster or broadcaster ends up with like a gimmick or a shtick or a style that they end up running with from the majority of their career, right? Like there's guys, especially when it comes to basketball, who are just numbers guys to the point of they almost sound ridiculous at times because it feels like they're ready to tell you this guy averages 26 points per game when it's 73 degrees outside and it's on a Wednesday. And this guy has a true shooting percentage of 37% when it's cold outside and it's on a Thursday. And then there's guys who are, well, I've just been around the block. I've seen enough. I've watched X amount of games, and my gut just tells me this. Both of them start to get annoying, and both of them start to get redundant after a while, and you're like, all right, we know what you're going to say. Not really that interested, but that's your thing. Fine, cool. Something that I'm learning is probably going to have to become my thing is this yearly reminder that styles don't win championships in the NBA. I hear sportscasters and broadcasters go on every single year. They talk about, oh, the style that they're playing is why they're winning, or the type of basketball they're playing and is the reason why this is a title team this year. Styles don't win titles. They just don't. Great players do. Great teams do. But styles don't win titles. Why do I feel confident about this? Let's just take the last 5 years. You've obviously got the Warriors dynasty, Steph, Clay, KD, and everyone was convinced you got to outshoot them. You got to outshoot. If you can't outshoot Golden State, you can't win. Now, that's true. If you couldn't outshoot Golden State, you couldn't win, but that's because they possibly had three of the best 5 or 6 shooters in the history of the game. That wasn't a matter of, oh, if you just have the best shooters or you're the best three-point shooting team, you'll win the title. Example, this year, the Clippers had the best three-point percentage in the history of the NBA. I'm not sure they're going to beat Utah. Are you? Let's go with the Toronto team. What was their style? Well, you've got to play defense the way they play defense, and you've got to get your bench. You've got to get depth. The Clippers had the best depth of any team last year. They didn't win a title. Just last year, a bubble or not, LeBron and the Lakers. Oh, it was their size, and it was they were playing old school big men, and they had McGee and Howard and AD and LeBron, and they were just bigger than everybody, and they could play old school bully ball, and that's how you had to win it. Not in the first round this year. And now we're hearing what style is going to win this year. The fact of the matter is, no consistent style is ever won. It's just, it's really that, I don't know another way to phrase that. It's just that simple. No consistent style has ever won. Talked about this last week. Magic and Bird won in the 80s. Mike won in the 90s. Hakeem, Kobe, Duncan, Steph, LeBron. All had different styles. You could argue Kobe, Mike, fine, similar style. But all those teams had different styles. And those teams won not based on their styles, but they won based on the way their great players were playing when it came down for the playoffs. They were playing great. They had a chance to win. They didn't. They get bounced. Understand. Like, you could go down. We'll go down every single playoff team that's still remaining. So let's start here. For Utah to win a title, they need Donovan Mitchell to play great, and they need their defense. And they need to continue to play at home for big games. If Utah wins a title, those three things got to happen. For the Clippers to win a title, Kawhi and Paul George got to be great. Don't matter if it's home, road, Kawhi and Paul George just got to be great. They got to win based off solely the strength of their superstars. The Suns, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, they are a depth story. They need Chris Paul to be great in those moments, and they need the rest of the guys to be great for their depth and their bench players, and they'll need Devin Booker to occasionally be the all-star that he is and drop in a 30-plus point game. And so they're going to win if the Suns were to win a title. The Nuggets, it's all about Jokic. Jokic isn't playing well. Jokic isn't putting up monster numbers. Congratulations, you won MVP yesterday. If Jokic isn't putting up monster numbers, the Nuggets have no chance. Go over to the East, Philly, Embiid or bust. If Embiid put up 40 points yesterday, if Embiid is dominating, if Embiid is the best player on the court, Philly has a chance. Ben Simmons is great. Tobias Harris is really good. That's not how they're winning a title. They're winning a title going through Embiid. The Hawks, Trae Young, and three-point shooting. If they can outshoot you and Trae Young has a big game, that's how the Hawks win a title. The Bucks, Giannis and Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton all have to play like a real big three. The Bucks have not a real big three because Chris Middleton is just an all-star, but not a great all-star. For a big three, it needs to be superstars. And Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton aren't superstars. But if they play like superstars for stretches, and Giannis plays like a superstar, which he is, the Bucks can win title. Last team, the Nets. Kevin Durant stays healthy. That's it. Kevin Durant stays healthy. Nets win a title. Some teams need their big men. Some teams need their superstars. Some teams need their depth. Some teams need their shooting. The way these teams are built, it is not this one-for-all style that is going to lead to a championship. The Warriors won off the fact they had three of the 5 or 6 best to ever do something. The Lakers won because they had one of the best players to ever play and a top 5 player alongside him. Kawhi and the Raptors won because of their superstar and their depth and their timely shooting. When Kobe and Shaq won, it was because Shaq was dominant. When Kobe and Powell won, it's because they had size and Kobe was scoring 30 a game. Like, there's so many different reasons each year, and there's no consistent, oh, you do this, you win. Forever, it was you play defense because the NBA playoffs is a slower game and you need to play defense and you need to make sure you got to be able to defend or you won't have it because you're not going to score like you did. The Nets might run through the playoffs, only losing 2 or 3 games, and they play no defense.